Welcome back. So I'm going to talk about the query optimization techniques in MySQL 8. So I'm going to explore and provide different techniques for improving SQL query performance along with real-world use cases so you can actually relate to your own projects as well as examples to better understand their practical applications. Next, let's talk about what is the query optimization. So query optimization in SQL is the process of improving the performance of SQL queries because you have large tables, huge databases, and that makes them faster and more efficient when you are querying data from these databases or tables. So optimizing queries is critical and crucial in large databases to reduce the execution time, improve resource utilization, and maintain overall performance. Now, on the other hand, poorly optimized queries can significantly slow down an application, affecting user experience and increasing resource costs. Next, let's talk about indexing and how that helps. I've covered indexing in depth with hands-on exercises in the previous lecture, but once again, indexing is one of the most effective ways to optimize queries. So an index is like a roadmap that MySQL uses to find data faster, avoiding a full table scan. Now, there are different types of indexes that I've already demonstrated, like primary index, unique, composite, full text search, and so on. So a common use case for indexing is on columns that are frequently searched. For example, it could be ID or email, right? Let me give a specific example. So for example, by creating an index on the course name column, we can drastically reduce search time in a table with millions of rows. Next, let's talk about the explain statement. So the explain statement is a powerful tool that shows how MySQL will execute a query. It helps identify potential bottlenecks such as full table scans or inefficient join operations. By using explain, you can analyze query performance and see how the optimizer plans to retrieve data. In the example that you see on the slide, explain is used to check how a query is executed when searching for a specific course by name. Next, let me give another example. For example, you should avoid select, right, statement, or for example, selective column fetching. So a common optimization technique is to avoid using select all in queries, or which means select asterisk, right? So that means it's going to search the entire table. So let's try to stick to avoiding this particular aspect or using the asterisk, right? Select all. Retrieving all columns can slow down performance, especially when working with large tables. So instead, what do? It's better to fetch only the columns that are required or needed. For instance, if you only need the course name and the instructor name, specify those columns explicitly in the query to reduce the amount of data being transferred. Next, let's talk about joins versus subqueries. I've also covered these in the previous lectures. So joins are generally more efficient than subqueries when combining data from multiple tables. While subqueries are easier to use, they can become slow when working with large data sets. So in contrast, joins allow MySQL to combine data more efficiently. For example, if you need to combine data from the courses table and the university students table, a join operation will typically perform better than a subquery. Next, let's talk about the limit clause and how do we properly use this. So the limit clause helps you control the amount of data retrieved by a query. Now, this is especially useful in scenarios like pagination, for example, where you want to load only a portion of the data at a time. Now, limiting the results can significantly reduce the time it takes to execute a query and improve overall application performance. For example, retrieving only the top 10 courses instead of fetching all the records. Next, using the where clause efficiently. I've also covered this in the previous lectures, by the way, right? So efficient use of the where clause is critical in optimizing queries. So by filtering data as early as possible, you can reduce the number of records MySQL needs to process. So this is especially important when working with large tables. For example, in a course database, you might only want to retrieve courses with a duration of more than 10 weeks. So using the where clause ensures that only relevant records are returned, which basically speeds up the query process. Next is batch data processing. So this is another important optimization technique, particularly when inserting or updating large amounts of data. So instead of executing multiple single row inserts, which can be slow, it's more efficient to insert multiple rows in a single query. For example, inserting 2 courses at once is much faster than inserting them individually. Makes sense, right? So this reduces the overhead of multiple database calls. Next is caching frequently used queries. So query caching can significantly improve performance in read-heavy applications. So by caching the results of frequently executed queries, you can avoid running the same query multiple times. Although MySQL 8 doesn't support query caching out of the box anymore, you can implement caching at the application level or use an external caching layer like Redis, for example, to store query results. Now, this technique is especially useful for applications with a lot of repetitive read queries. Next is some scenarios. Let me give you a real-world scenario how to optimize an e-commerce website. So let's look at a real-world example of query optimization within an e-commerce website, right? So an e-commerce database often has millions of products, and inefficient queries can slow down the product searches. So in this case, indexing columns such as product name, category, and price helps speed up search queries. Additionally, you can use the explain statement that I've talked earlier, which helps the development team to identify and fix any performance bottlenecks. Let me give you another. Next, the real world scenario, right? Which is based on the learning management system. So in this example, consider a LMS that handles millions of course records. Now to optimize performance, the system can use joins between tables like courses and students, right? To retrieve data efficiently. Batch inserts can be used when adding new student registrations instead of inserting one record at a time to basically improve database performance. Next, in conclusion, is query optimization, as we have seen, is a critical part of database management. Now, key techniques such as indexing, using the explain statement, efficient joins, and limiting data retrieval can drastically improve query performance. But optimizing is an ongoing process, and regular performance testing should be part of your workflow to ensure your queries remain efficient as your database grows. So I hope this helps. Take a look at all of this, and I'm going to demonstrate all these statements as we move forward. Let me go ahead and simply demonstrate the explain statement. So from within, for example, the courses table or the employees, products, or university students, let's go ahead and create a simple select statement, right? So it's going to be select statement or explain select from courses where course name equals data science. And this could be different course names. So basically what you're essentially going to see, let me execute the query. And then here you go. So the result grid simply shows you or explains everything from the courses table where course name equals data science. So it filtered 20. We can use the extra, or for example, the where statement, right? That's where it is, where course name is what we're actually using. So it's explaining the entire statement for you. It's using the table courses. The select type is simple. And of course, the type is all. So this is how you would actually use the explain statement. Similarly, you can also use another example. Let me give another example. For example, we can use the limit statement, right? So let me go ahead and get rid of this, close the result grid. And for the limit, I can have, let's say, select the course name from courses, and I can limit it up to 10. Now, this is a great query optimization technique also. So if I execute this particular statement, notice it only gives me the course names and it limits up to 10 since we only have 5, right? But if we had thousands and thousands of courses, it only will limit up to 10 courses. And this is how you would use the limit statement. Similarly, let me quickly show you another one. And this would be, for example, the where clause. So let's get rid of this, for example, and I'm going to demonstrate using the select course name from courses where duration weeks is greater than 10. Let's execute this query, and you notice you only have 3 courses, even though I think we have 5 or more within the table, but it only displays where the duration is greater than 10. And again, once again, this is a great query optimization technique. Let's demonstrate quickly another one. Another technique is bulk insert. So we can do batch processing, right? So let's close this and let me demonstrate that as well. So we need to avoid entering single rows, right? So instead, we can do insert into, for example, the courses table, course name, instructor name, right? So that way the values could be math, which is the course name, and then John, physics, and Jane. So this is how you would actually do multiple or batch processing. It's much faster and more efficient. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. If I execute this, for example, it is going to go ahead and insert into the courses table, which is right here on the left. And you'll notice, let me refresh the schema here. Perfect. Here are the columns, and then the course name and the instructor name. So the course name, for example, and the instructor name both now would have math as a course, and then of course the instructor names. So go ahead, practice with this. Let me know if you have any questions. With this, let's move to the next lesson.